You are feeling guilty right now. Maybe not about anything specific, maybe just a low hum in the background, a vague sense that you should be doing more, being more, apologizing for something you cannot even name. You have not done anything wrong, but the feeling is there anyway, and the real reason it exists is far stranger than you think. Guilt is supposed to be simple. You do something bad, you feel bad about it, you fix it. That is the textbook version. But that is not how it works in your brain. Because your brain does not actually need you to do anything wrong to trigger guilt. It just needs to believe you might have, or that someone else thinks you did, or that the social group you belong to expects more from you than you gave. This is not a flaw. This is a feature, and it is ancient. Psychologist June Price Tangney at George Mason University has spent decades studying guilt and its close relative, shame. Her research makes a striking distinction. Guilt says, I did something bad. Shame says, I am something bad. They feel similar, but they fire in completely different parts of your psychology. Guilt, she found, is actually adaptive. It pushes you toward repair. It makes you want to fix things, apologize, do better. Shame does the opposite. It makes you want to hide. But here is the part that changes everything. You do not need to have done anything wrong to feel guilt. What you need is to believe that someone expected something from you and that you fell short of it. Real or imagined, present or from years ago. Your brain runs a constant background calculation comparing what you did against what the people around you needed, and when there is a gap, even a hypothetical one, guilt fires. Neuroscientist Tania Singer at the Max Planck Institute has studied the neural basis of guilt and found something extraordinary. The same brain regions that process physical pain also process the pain of social expectation. When you feel guilty, your brain is not just processing an abstract emotion. It is processing something that feels neurologically like being hurt. Guilt is not just a feeling. It is a pain signal. But wait, why would evolution build a system that hurts you even when you did nothing wrong? Because for most of human history, doing nothing wrong was not enough. What mattered was whether your group believed you had done nothing wrong. In a small tribe of 30 people, being seen as selfish, unreliable, or failing to contribute could get you excluded. And exclusion, for a social species with no survival tools outside the group, was a death sentence. Your guilt system did not evolve to punish you for actual wrongdoing. It evolved to keep you hyper-vigilant about your social reputation at all times. This is why you feel guilty for saying no, for resting when others are working, for eating before others are served, for taking up space. None of these things are wrong. But your ancient social monitoring system flags them anyway, because at some point in your evolutionary past, behaviors like these carried real social risk. Psychologist Roy Baumeister at the University of Queensland has studied guilt across cultures and found one consistent pattern. Guilt spikes hardest not when we hurt strangers, but when we disappoint the people we are closest to. The closer the relationship, the more painful the guilt, even for tiny things. A forgotten text from a friend. Being 5 minutes late to meet your mother. This is your brain telling you that social bonds are survival infrastructure. Any threat to them, however small, gets treated as an emergency. So what do you do with guilt that has no target? With the low hum that sits in the background, even on days when you have done everything right, you recognize it for what it is. An ancient alarm system built for a world that no longer exists. A system so sensitive it fires constantly. Because in the ancestral environment, it was better to feel guilty 100 times unnecessarily than to miss the one time your social standing was actually at risk. You are not guilty. You are human. And your brain was built by thousands of generations of people for whom the opinion of the group was the difference between life and death. The guilt you feel right now, the vague hum with no name, is not evidence that you did something wrong. It is evidence that your ancestors were good enough at belonging to survive, and that they passed that anxious, vigilant, deeply social brain all the way down to you. You have not done anything wrong. You never needed to.